like the father experience Kennan has had, whatever. Well, anyways, I don't know my birth dad. My first adoption, my dad was in the military, so he was super strict, and my mom was super abusive, and I kind of like rolled over onto him. So that was like up until 14, and I went back into foster care, multiple families, multiple dads. Kind of turned off the family switch in my life and kind of gave up. Up until the age of 16, where I was adopted by my current parents. Less than Tammy Rouse, shut up. Anyways, it wasn't until then that I actually like kind of turned my heart back on, but that was kind of like the only place where I was confided. Like 4 years ago when GL actually came out to my church way back in Wisconsin, I remember I was like, oh, these crazy young kids, and why are they so happy all the time? And you know, that's kind of what I like thought of GL up until like my senior year, and I had two of my older brothers, Kyle Cody, which goes to this church, and Eric Perkin, like do it 4 years ago, and it was kind of pressing on my mom that like, oh, maybe you should do it too, and I was kind of like, oh. It's like, fine then, I'll just do it so you like me more, because we all know you won't like me if I don't do GL. So that was kind of my input going into it. But anyway, so I just like walked into class like hoping like, you know, I'm just gonna like bear through this year and I'm not gonna open or confide in anyone. You know, Jim and Pastor Fed always like approach me and like just want a warm welcoming hug, and I was like, get away from me, I don't know you. And it wasn't until like kind of like, I think it was like maybe a month and a half into the program, I was like worshiping, and I was like, oh, why is this worshiping so hard? Like, I don't like it. So I like pulled Jim aside, and I was like, what's my problem? Like, I can't even, I'm running classes kneeling down, I'm over here standing up, acting like a rebel. And like just multiple people have told me, and Jim said one of the biggest things for my year would just be trusting in people and confiding in people, especially father figures, which I kind of had a problem with. But just Malachi 4:6 says, "He will turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the children back to the fathers." And that's what kind of happened for me this year. Jim opened his heart to me. Jerry Bloom opened his heart to me. Noel Bennett, just multiple people. Even though he's not my father, Kyle Cody's just been like, even him just putting that wisdom and that just father's heart in me has just helped me grow so much, and just being able to like take things from people without like getting defensive all the time, or like, why are you just like picking at what I can work on? Why don't you like me? But just them just investing in me, spending time with me. Like I remember I was like super pumped my first time like Jerry like texted me, he was like, hey, you want to hang out? I was like, yes. Because like, even though like Les is probably the best thing that has happened to me, he's like, I couldn't ask for a better earthly father, one who's like showing me love and just loved me when I was down and loved me when I was up and called me his son even when I wasn't. And so like just them just opening their hearts to me, Jim just constantly loving me where I was at, and just finally just allowing myself just praying to God, and it was like by his power and by his grace that I was just be able to just release the things of my past, just release the previous fathers in my heart, just be open and welcoming to the new ones God has put in my life this year. Just where God has brought me from where I was to now is just unexplainable. Like I can't even put it in words. Like I should not even be at this church doing this program. But you know, he's put me here for a reason, and I choose to accept that reason. And with the Father's just wisdom passed down on me, I'm going to pass it down to my kids, because the only thing I want for my life and for my future kids' life is what God has plans for them, because God promises good for all of us, and I've just seen that through the father figures in my life, and it's just caused me to just want to love again and want to feel again, and this next dance, feel again, is kind of just opening that, just opening yourself and allowing yourself to like love again, and allowing yourself to put spiritual mothers and fathers in your life who can greatly benefit you. So I just want to even though some of them aren't here, I just want to thank Noel and thank Jerry, thank Kyle. Anyway, we're going to do this dance.